All right. So my clock says 5:30, so we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me. My name is Jane Stimpson. I am one of the librarians at Lone Star College CyFair. I am also a certified yoga teacher, and I usually teach 2 free classes a week at our library. Unfortunately, our library is closed for the time being. We're not really sure yet when it's going to reopen. I don't know how often we'll be doing these yoga live streams either. So to stay up to date on everything as far as the library goes or my yoga classes, you can shoot an email to cyfairlibrary@lonestar.edu. That's CYFAIR library@lonestar.edu. Ask to get on my yoga mailing list, and I will keep you up to date on all of these. Oh, and Alfie, we got the hat trick, the cap trick. Okay, promise that'll be my only bad pun of today. So thank you for everybody that is tuning in. I want to give a really special thanks right now to anybody who's working in healthcare or retail or sanitation or any of those jobs that are keeping us, or public safety, any of those jobs that are keeping us safe and healthy and stocked and clean. Thank you so much. Those of us who are working from home so appreciate what you are doing. So thank you. And if at any point tonight, if you find your mind start to wandering and you find it hard to get back, maybe just consider throwing up a word of gratitude to those folks and coming back to your breath in your body. So speaking of class tonight, make sure that you're practicing on a yoga mat or a towel, no bare floor. Make sure you are practicing barefoot so that you stick to the mat pretty well. Our class tonight is going to be a lot like my face-to-face classes are in the library. So we're going to start with a brief sit, and then we're going to be moving for about 45 minutes. And then we'll end with a meditation, and you'll have the choice to either stay in meditation or you can lie back and take a traditional rest pose. And the phrase I use a lot in my classes is choose your own adventure, right? So yoga is for everybody, but yoga is going to look different in everybody. So I might be able to stretch a little further than you can in a pose and vice versa, right? So I'm going to offer options. Choose the option that works best for you and your body. And if you want to take a stronger or lighter variation, please feel free to go for that, right? If we feel anything resembling pain, stop doing that thing immediately, right? Sensation's good, pain is not good. Okay, so with all that out of the way, I think we're good. We're going to go ahead and get officially started. So we're going to start tonight just with a short sit, just to transition into this time and this place of our practice. So we're going to be sitting for a few minutes, so you can take a seat on your mat, or if it's more comfortable for you, you might want to roll up the back of your mat like 2-3 times, and then sit up on that little roll you created, and then it's a little cushier, right? So just take whatever a simple sit means for you tonight. So maybe it's cross-legged, maybe you're going to have your legs straight out, maybe you're kneeling. Okay, whatever works for you this evening, take a comfortable sit. And then go ahead and bring your hands either face down, palms down on the knees, or you can cup the left hand and the right hand in your lap. Go ahead and gently close the eyes. Take a moment to sit tall. So pull the waist out of the hips, pull the rib cage out of the waist. The gaze is straight ahead. Eyes are soft. Shoulders are loose. And the belly is full and easy. We're just going to start with 3 cleansing breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. So when you're ready, take a deep inhale through the nose. And then open the mouth, exhale. Let's do 2 more like that. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Last one, make it the deepest breath yet. In through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Good. Now close the mouth and be inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And know that we're not trying to control the breath at this point. So just let your body breathe itself. the natural rhythm of breath. And just check in with your body. Maybe start to do a body scan from head to toe. Just notice those places in your body that are feeling maybe a little bit tender or a little bit tight tonight. You notice some spots in the body that are feeling strong or feeling open tonight. Just making an inventory so that as we move this evening, we can give a little extra love to those places of need. And now I'd like you to bring your awareness to the points of your body that are touching the earth. Maybe that's your feet, your calves, your ankles, your thighs, your glutes. Bring the awareness to that horizontal plane of your body that's touching the mat and the earth right now. And feeling the earth supporting you, strong and dense underneath you as you sit. Now bring your awareness to the crown of your head. The very top of your skull, at the top of your spinal cord. Floating above your pelvis. Feel the connection of the crown of your head to the sky. And if you can, try and be aware of both of those extremes. So the plane of your body that's touching the earth, and the crown of your head that's reaching skyward. And feel your body as it spans those two strata, earth beneath you and sky above you. Staying here for just a moment longer. Excellent. Keeping your eyes closed, bring your hands together, palms touching in front of your heart. And then bow the head, drop the hands, gently blink your eyes open, and come back center. Nice. Okay. So let's start the physical part of our practice. If you had rolled up your mat to take our sit, go ahead and unroll your mat now. And we're actually going to start reclined. So we're going to start on your back. So just bring yourself all the way back down on your mat. And then once you get back there, bring the soles of your feet together so that your knees are forming like a diamond shape, right? And if this is too much, if you're feeling some pain here, some variations you can make. You can bring your heels a little further away from the groin. You could separate the heels entirely. And if this is still too much, what I'd like you to do is bring your feet mat width and just let the knees knock together. So your choice. I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together. Bring the hands to rest on the belly. Right hand on the navel, left hand on top. I'm just going to take a few breaths here. As you breathe with your hand on your belly, on your inhales, feel your belly pushing against your hands. rising as you take deep inhales. And as you exhale, notice the belly falling. So just check in with that movement. Feeling the belly rising on your inhale and falling on your exhale. Those are the kinds of breaths we want to take tonight. Deep breaths starting in the belly. Now this time, if you wanted to bring your hands to the top of your thighs, sometimes that's just that a little bit of extra weight needed to help kind of bring everything down a little bit more. This is a really lovely, gentle hip opener. If you're like me and you spend a lot of the day seated, it's really nice to start practice this way to try and open up a little bit. Now, if your feet are together like this, bring the hands to the outsides of your thighs and just use your hands to gently push your knees back together. You had your knees together like this anyway. Go ahead and release. And I'd like everybody to hug the knees into the chest. Maybe take a little rock from side to side. Just give that low back a nice little massage here. And then come to stillness. Send the right leg long down the mat and keep the left knee hugged in. Now, this right foot can either be flexed or pointed. It's up to you. Make a choice. Your choice. Take a deep in breath. And on your exhale, go ahead and extend that left leg straight. Although this knee can be as bent as we need because we're still kind of early, right? Clasp the hands behind the left thigh and flex the left foot so that the heel is driving up towards the ceiling and the toes are pointing down towards your face, right? We want to feel a nice calf and hamstring stretch. So take an inhale here. Now on your exhale, maybe see if you can maybe pull that leg in just a little bit closer to your body. Take another inhale. If you want to work in a little core work, on your next exhale, pull the low belly in and lift the head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Make sure you're not straining with the nose forward. You really want your chest to be coming towards the thigh. So even if you're up just a little bit, right, I prefer that than trying to do this movement with your neck. Everybody, if your head was up, bring it back down. Bring the right arm out to a T next to you. In front. Bring the left elbow down to the mat. Left hand to the outer thigh. And then just go ahead and drop that left thigh out to the left. Doesn't have to go very far. I don't want you to lose control. So maybe make sure that this right hip is still pinned down to the mat and isn't trying to come up. Using this elbow for support. On your inhale it back to center. Bring the left arm out long. Bring the right hand to the outer left thigh now. Inhale where you are. And exhale, drop that left leg over to the right, not very far, maybe like 10, 15 degrees. So I don't want this left foot traveling outside the bounds of my mat. Just a little bit. Just working into the thighs. And inhale it up. And exhale, hug the knee into the chest. Just do a few knee circles, right? So just drive the knee around in circles in one direction. And then in the other direction. And again, warming up the thigh and the hip socket. Bend the right knee into your chest. Send the left leg long. We'll do the other side now. So inhale where you are. Exhale, extend that right leg long. Clasp the hands behind the right thigh. Right knee can be as bent as we need to, but do make sure that right foot is flexed, right toes down towards you. Inhale where you are. And exhale, maybe pull it in just a little bit. On your next exhale, if you want to take that core work again, pull the lower belly in, lift the head, neck, and shoulders off the mat, knee, nose towards knee. And on your next exhale, release it back down. Good. Left arm out to a T, right elbow down to the mat, and right hand to the outside of the right thigh. Drop that right leg out to the right. Again, not too far, making sure that this left hip is still pinned down. And then inhale it back to center using your arm or whatever support you need to get it back to center. Right arm out to a T, left hand to the outside of your right thigh. Inhale where you are. And exhale, drop it to the left. Just a little bit, not outside the bounds of your mat. Inhale back straight. And then bend the knee in. And take your knee circles. So driving the knee in circles in one direction. And in the other direction. Bend both knees into the chest. Rock side to side for a moment. And I'll let you know where we're headed. We're heading to hands and knees next. So you have a couple ways to get there. If you're rocking side to side, you can just rock all the way over onto one side and push yourself up. Or you can start to rock front to back, rolling like a ball. And maybe eventually your ball and your rock gets to be so big, you can rock all the way up over your crossed ankles and come into tabletop that way. So everybody come onto hands and knees, however you wanted to get there, rocking or not. And once you get onto hands and knees, I want you to just take a moment, just move intuitively here, okay? So just move in a way that feels good for your body right now. So maybe that means circling the hips in one direction, down towards the heels and up again. Maybe that means moving the shoulders and the hips in opposite directions. If you're intuitively going to cat-cow, know that we're going to go there in a moment. And anything that you're doing in circles, just make sure that you now switch the direction of your circles and make sure that you're going the other way if you need. Maybe you even want to circle the neck a little bit here. You even want to reverse the direction of your fingers and give your wrists a light stretch. Just be really careful with this one. This is a strong, strong stretch. And then switch the directions of your hands. Take those last maybe couple of movements that feels good in your body right now. And eventually, making your way to a still tabletop. Let's set up our tabletop position. Make sure that your wrists are about shoulder width apart. Wrists are directly underneath your shoulders. Your fingertips are splayed wide. And make sure that your knees are directly underneath your hips. Tops of the feet can be resting on the mat, or if it helps you balance, you can tuck the toes, right? It's up to you. Okay, good. We're going to start out with some cat-cow, as I said. So when you're ready, inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone and your chin. Cat. And then exhale, round the back like you're a Halloween cat, tuck your chin to the chest. Cat. And we're going to go back and forth like this several times. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin, lift the heart. Cow. Exhale, round the back, tuck the chin. Inhale, cow, let the collarbone be wide. Exhale, cat. Like you could suck the navel up through your spine to the ceiling. Keep moving through several rounds of cow and cat with your own breath in your own time. And if you can't here, really let the movement follow the breath. So let your body respond to what your breath is doing. So we inhale, we drop the belly, we arch, we lift, we look, and at the top of our inhale, we're in our cow. And then our exhale starts and our body follows, rounding the back, tucking the chin. At the top bottom of our exhale, we're in cat. Keep on moving in cow and cat. Few breaths, your own time. We take one more full round. And then after your last cat, come back to a neutral spine and just sit back on your heels for a moment because that's a lot of work on our wrists. So let's stretch out the wrist before we go into our next little hands and knees variation. So bring your right hand out like you're telling someone to stop and gently pull your fingertips back towards you. Release, point the fingertips down, gently pull them in towards you. Release, palm faces up, gently pull the fingertips back towards you. These are also really lovely stretches to do, at least that one. You take a second and roll the wrists in one direction, roll the wrists in the other direction, and we'll take the other side. Left hand out like you're telling someone to stop, gently pull the fingertips back. These are really lovely stretches to do too if you are on your computer a lot all day, right, typing. This is a really nice way to kind of release those. Okay, release that, fingertips point down, gently stretch back in. I'm the worst at this, but I hope you are good at remembering to take regular breaks if you're working from home. Release, palm faces up, gently pull fingertips back towards yourself. Making sure that you're getting up to walk around occasionally, stretch it out, use a deep breath. These are mental reminders for me too. Okay, good. And release. Come on back to your tabletop position. Make sure everything's squared up. We're going to come into some core work here. And if you are not feeling core work today, I want you to just continue to do some cat-cow. Okay? Otherwise, if you are feeling some core work today, bring the right hand out a little bit in front of you. Come off the left knee and drive the heel back. Now you can stay right here, or you can lift the right arm and the left leg and balance. Make sure right thumb is pointing up towards the ceiling. Make sure left toes are pointing down towards the floor, and that left hip is also pointing down, right? You don't want that left hip and leg flaring out, so make sure those are all squared and pointing down. Now, inhale here, you can stay here, or on your exhale, bring the knee and elbow to touch under your belly, awesome. Two more, inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in and crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow and knee touch. Inhale, extend, and if you're feeling super adventurous, bring the right arm out to the right, left leg to the left. Bring it back in, and come on back to tabletop. Take a few cat-cows in between, just to kind of shake it out. Inhaling, dropping the belly for cow. Exhale, cat. One more. Cow. Exhale, cat. And bring it back to a neutral spine. We'll take the other side. All right. So left hand out. Come off the right knee. Stretch that right heel back. And stay right here for your core work. You're still doing core work here. Or lift them up. Make sure back toes pointing down, thumb pointing up. Inhale, stay right here. Or exhale, knee and elbow hug in a touch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, touch. Last time, inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow and knee touch. Inhale, extend. And if you want, go out to the side for a quick moment. Bring it back in. All the limbs down, and everybody now sit back on your heels. Extend the arms long. And reach the forehead down to the mat for your child's pose. Taking a few breaths here in this rest pose, knowing that we can always come back to this rest pose if we need to. So look forward at your hands for a moment and just shift your hips off to the left and walk your hands right a few hands lengths. I'm going to say a few steps, but you know. Feeling a nice stretch in the left side body, all the way from the left hip, all the way to the left tricep and shoulder, really. On your exhale, walk the hands back center. Shift the hips to the right a little bit. Walk the hands to the left. And bow the head again. Doing a nice side stretch all the way on the right side of the body. And then on your exhale, bring the hands back center. Come on back into your tabletop. We're going to transition to the top of the mat through down dog. So for down dog, bring your hands, maybe just one hand width in front. Tuck your toes, not a hard tuck, just a real soft tuck. And then lift the knees, lift the hips up and back to your downward facing dog. So making sure that fingers are spread wide. We're pressing down through thumb and index finger. Shoulders are away from the ears. Head and neck are as relaxed as possible. Hips are really pushing up and back, and heels are driving down towards the mat. And if heels aren't touching, totally fine. Took years for my heels to touch, and a lot of times they still don't. Maybe take a second and bend one knee at a time here. And then when you're ready, come to two straight legs. And slowly, really taking your time, walk your feet towards your hands to the front of the mat. And when you get there, leave the feet about hips width apart. Really bend the knees here. Just grab opposite elbow and just sway from side to side. Just really letting the low back and torso spill out of the head. Everything relaxing down. And then release your elbows. And taking your time again, very slowly, with knees gently bent, roll up to a stand. One vertebrae at a time. Head stays bent. Head is the last thing to come up. When you get there, roll the shoulders back a few times. Nice. Okay, so we're going to get into our standing series now. So we're going to be linking breath with movement here. So we're going to start with a few half salutations. So start in your mountain pose at the top of your mat. Feet are together or just slightly apart, whatever feels better in your skeleton tonight. And just make sure that all your leg muscles are engaged and lifting up, right? Tailbone is slightly tucked. Hands are relaxed by your sides. Your palms can face forward or towards the body. And take another second, roll the shoulders back again here, just so you can feel those shoulders traveling away from the ears, shoulder blades melting down the back. The gaze is straight ahead. This is our mountain pose. We're going to do a few half salutations from here. We'll start to give options. So go ahead, exhale all your breath. And now inhale, arms will rise straight out and up. Exhale, bend the knees as much as you like and fold forward, bringing the hands to rest on the mat or the leg. Inhale, bring the hands to the shins. Come up halfway like you were going to stand up and stop. Flat back. And then exhale, refold in. Inhale, press feet firmly into the mat to help you and your arms rise straight out and up. And then exhale, return the hands to your side. Now, you'll notice that my arms go straight out and up. The next variation we're going to take, we're going to bring our arms out to the side and then swan dive down. On our third variation, you'll have a choice of how you want your arms to be. It is honestly up to you. So just kind of see what feels better in your body. Okay. Reset your mountain pose. Legs engaged, tailbone tucked, gaze straight ahead, shoulders relaxed. Exhale everything. And then inhale, this time arms out to the sides and up. Exhale, swan diving with flat back, knees can be bent. Inhale, bring the hands to the shins, flat back. Exhale, refold. And then inhale as you come up, arms go out to the sides and then up, look, see your hands. Exhale, hands return. So we're going to do one more before we start to add on to it. So at this point, make your choice. What feels better, arms straight out or arms out to the side to go up? Your call. Reset your mountain pose. Exhale everything. And then inhale your choice of how arms will rise. Exhale, fold forward. Always bend the knees as much as you need. Inhale, hands to shins, lift halfway, flat back, wide collarbone. Exhale, refold. Inhale, come all the way up, press the feet into the earth to help you rise. And exhale, hands return to the side. Nice. We're going to do one more, but we're going to keep adding on to it before we kind of bring it all down to stretch out. So reset your mountain pose. Exhale everything. And then inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. And now take a big step back with your right foot. Left foot stays where it is. Bring the right knee down to the mat and flip the toes. Now, if you've done this and it does not feel good on your knee to have it down on the mat, I would like you to take the right side of your mat and just fold it up so you have a little cushion for your knee. You can also grab a towel or a cushion and put it under your knee that way. Totally fine. Okay. So a few things to look for here. If you're not sure, hey, did I step my foot back too far? We want this front shin to be vertical. So make sure that the knee is pointing straight out over the toes, front shin is vertical. And if you want to move this foot out to the left a little bit, or if you need to move it forward or back, that's totally fine, right? You're not wedded to the pose that you happen to land in. Bring one hand and then the other to the top of the left thigh. And just for a moment here, bring the hips back in space so that now this right thigh is straight up and down. Take a breath. And then exhale, I want you to sink the hips down and forward, keeping this front shin vertical. You can keep the hands here, or you can lift them straight up by your ears, or you can bend them in goal pose, your choice. Just make sure that the shoulders are away from your ears. Okay, this is crescent moon. In breath here. And then exhale, bring the hands down to either side of that front foot. Now, if you practice with blocks, this is a great time to grab your blocks. Sorry for not saying that earlier. We're coming into Ardha Hanuman, or half monkey. So your right leg is staying as it is. Swivel that left front foot forward, maybe about like 6 inches or so. Inhale where you are. And then exhale, gently pull the hips back so that this left leg comes straight and toes point towards the front of the toe, towards the ceiling. Take a moment, inhale, extend the spine. And then exhale, see if you can fold a little deeper. And if you want to take your blocks here where your hands would be, that's a great way to practice, right? You're bringing the floor to you. And if you don't have blocks, you could always grab a book. Make sure they're big books. Couple breaths here. Trying to pull this left hip back so it's even with the right. One last in-breath. And on your exhale, gently swiggle that foot back in. And sink the hips so that front shin is vertical again. Right hand comes to the inside of your left foot. Left hand to your left hip. Take a breath here. And on your exhale, twist the chest open to the left. We're coming to a crescent moon twist. You can keep the left hand on the hip or raise it towards the sky. With each in-breath, thinking about extending the spine. And with each exhale, thinking about opening that chest a little bit more. One last in-breath. And then exhale, bring that left hand down. But this time, bring it also to the inside of the left foot. Maybe squiggle that left foot out a little bit. So now your hands are underneath your shoulders again. We're coming into lizard pose. So if it feels good in your lizard to come onto the blade of the left foot and open up that left knee, go for it. Okay? You can stay here. You can use your blocks. Or you can maybe come down onto one or maybe both elbows. For me on this side, one elbow is all I can do. So that's what I'm doing. Just taking a second to breathe. Now, if you're down on your elbows, press your hands into the earth to help you come back up. Move this left foot back in line. Now, we're coming back to downward facing dog from here, and you have a couple of ways to get here. Your first way, if you're feeling super strong, is to tuck the back toes, come off the back knee, plant the hands, and just step back to down dog. If you're not feeling that tonight, no worries. What you're going to do instead, plant the hands, bring your left knee back to meet the right one, and then tuck the toes and lift the knees and the hips up to downward facing dog. Okay. So either way you want to get there, stepping back or bringing the knee back and then back, come to downward facing dog. Knowing you can always skip down dog and do child's pose too. Couple breaths here. Now to get up to the top of the mat, we will be coming through that crescent moon pose again. So you can either step the right foot forward between your hands and then bring the left knee down, or bring both knees down and then bring the right foot to the middle. Okay? Your choice. Okay? Whatever way you want to do that, meet us there now. Right foot in between the hands, back knee down to the mat. Inhale, crescent moon, sinking the hips, front shin vertical. Exhale, hands down to either side of the front foot. Come off the back knee and do your best to step that left foot forward to the right. Okay, it takes you a couple steps. When you get here in your fold at the top of the mat, on your next inhale, flatten the back, look straight ahead. Exhale, fold in. And then inhale, rise. Exhale, hands return. Nice. Let's do the other side. The other side will probably go a little bit quicker now that we kind of know where we're going with our body and what we're looking for. So mountain pose, top of the mat. Shoulders relaxed, arms by your sides. Exhale everything. And inhale, arms will rise. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands to the shins, lift halfway. Exhale, this time left foot steps back, right foot stays where it is. Left knee down to the mat, left foot flips. Make sure this front shin is vertical. If you want, make sure to tuck up that mat again under that knee if you need it. And then one, then the other hand to the top of the knee. Move the hips back just for a second so this left thigh bone is vertical. And then sink back down into it, front shin, vertical. And if we want, we can lift up our arms into the straight or goalpost variation. Crescent moon. Inhaling. Exhale, hands down to either side of the front foot. Squiggle that front foot out a little bit. And then exhale, send the hips back until that front leg comes straight. Take a second. Inhale, extend the spine. Grab your blocks here if you want your blocks. And exhale, fold it. Few breaths here. Inhale. And on your exhale, come on back. Bring that foot back into alignment so that front shin is vertical. Bring the left hand inside the right foot. You can use a block if you want, or bring it down to the mat, your choice. Right hand to right hip. Inhale where you are, extend the spine long. Exhale, open the chest to the right. Right arm can come up to the sky if you like. Each in-breath extends the spine. Each exhale opens the twist a little further. Inhale. Exhale, bring this right hand back. This time, both hands are going inside the front foot. Walk that front foot out to the right a little bit. Maybe open up the knee to the right. Felt a little pop there. Good pop. Oh, and then if you like, you can come down onto one or both elbows. And at this point, maybe just take a second and notice, is one side a little bit different from the other, right? Our sides are never really the same. Breathing into that right hip. One more in-breath. If you're on your elbows, come onto your hands to push yourself back up. Bring this right foot back into alignment. We're coming back to down dog, so remember you can step back or plant the hands. Bring the front knee back to meet the back one, and then tuck the toes. Lift the hips up and back. And when you come into downward facing dog, if you need to readjust or replant your feet, go for it. I need to readjust my feet fairly often. Couple breaths here. Letting the head and neck relax, shoulders away from the ears. And this time we're going to bring the right foot in between the hands. Remember, you can step forward or bring the knees down and then bring the right foot in between the hands. Your choice. So make that choice. Bring right foot in between your hands. Flip the back toes and lift on up to your crescent moon, arms by your ears. Take a breath. Oh, I think I did the wrong side of that, sorry. Exhale, bring the hands down, that's all right. Come off the back knee and step forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale, rise all the way to a stand. Exhale, arms return. My face-to-face students know that I mix up my sides all the time, so the tradition continues. All right, take a second in your mountain pose here. Bring your hands together. Splay the fingers out and let the thumbs touch your breastbone. Just for a second, look down, bringing your gaze to your fingertips and breathe in. Exhale, release. Bring your feet to about hips distance apart or maybe a little bit wider. We do this one in class quite a lot. I like this one. So this is the weirdest visualization, but imagine that you are standing in a barrel and 360 degrees around your hips, you have a sponge. And all I want you to do is just circle your hips like you're cleaning the inside of the barrel with that sponge. You can make your circles as big or small as you want. And then go ahead, if you haven't already, switch the direction of your circles, barrel roll the other way. You want to get some arm movements in here. Sometimes that's fun too. Good deal. All right. And then come to stillness. Bring the feet together. Face the left-hand side of your mat. And then take a big step out with your left foot. And if you're wondering how far out to step here, you can bring your arms out parallel to the ground and sort of point your fingers down. And your ankles or your feet should be around where your fingers are pointing down. Take a second, make sure toes are in line with each other, make sure heels are in line with each other, hands to the hips. Inhale, really pull the waist out of the hip. And exhale with a slight bend in your knees so they're not locked. Go ahead and fold forward, bringing the hands wherever they want to rest tonight. Calves, feet, mat. Wherever you decided to be, take a second. Inhale, try and flatten the back halfway like we do in our sun cells. And then exhale, hold in. And if your hands are on the mat, try to get your fingertips in line with your toes. And just rest. We'll be here for a few breaths. I love this pose because it provides a lot of the same benefits as inversions like headstands or handstands without having to do the inversions. A lot of the same benefits here. So maybe take a second and nod the head yes. And shake the head no. And relax in the neck and let you go. Another breath or two. And then on your inhale, come up to fingertips, lift halfway. And then exhale, hands to the hips, come all the way back up and step forward to the top of your mat. So we're going to transition down to the mat for our last couple of stretches before we sit. Let's transition down with a chair. So bring the feet together or just slightly apart, whatever feels best in your skeleton. Inhale, raise the arms by your ears or goalpost arms. And then exhale, sink the hips back like you're sitting back in a chair and you're trying to reach your butt towards the back of the chair. Excellent. Take a breath here, chair pose. And then as you exhale, keep lowering, keep lowering, keep lowering, keep lowering until maybe you make it all the way down to the floor with some grace or not. Once you get down to your mat, Go ahead and bring your legs out long. Move your flesh away and out so that your sits bones come a little bit more contact with the earth. Feet are flat. Sit tall. And then raise the arms by your ears. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale. Fold forward. Bringing your hands wherever they want to rest tonight. So sometimes when I practice, my hands are on my thighs. Sometimes I can make it to my shins. Sometimes to my feet, right? Every day is different. Let that guide you. We'll be here for a few breaths. And really lovely visualization here is to picture the breath coming in through the soles of your feet. As you inhale, that breath travels up the backs of your legs. And as you exhale, that breath travels down your spine and out through the crown of your head. So deep inhales and exhales through the body that way. Good. One more deep inhale. And on your exhale, gently, slowly release. Nice. Okay. We're going to take one last seated twist before we sit for a little bit. So go ahead and bend both knees so that your feet come to the earth. Take your right hand, reach underneath the right knee, grab the left ankle, and pull that left ankle underneath your right, so that your left heel is on the outside of your right glute. Then cross that right foot onto the left side of your left knee. Okay. Bring your right hand behind you, just to the small of the back. And if your hand is not resting flat on the mat, that's fine. Just hit your fingers, right? Inhale, sit tall. Left hand's holding on to the right knee. Exhale, twist the chest open to the right. And this left hand can either stay holding the knee, or if you have a little bit more space in your twist, you can bring the left elbow to the top of the right knee. Inhale, the spine extends. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Few breaths here. One last inhale. And on your exhale, gently release. Bring the hands behind you to switch the legs. So this time, left leg's on the bottom, right leg's on top. Left hand is behind you. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist the chest open to the left. Right hand can stay holding on to the left knee. Bring the right elbow on top to help you twist a little further. Few breaths here. Starting to wind down and set the conditions for a little bit more extended sit. Last deep breath here. And then exhale, gently release. Come on back. And unwrap. Okay. So we're at the point in our practice where we're going to take a brief meditation, maybe about 5 minutes or so. And then at that point, you'll have the choice to either stay in your sit and stay in your meditation, or I'll cue you to lie back to a more traditional Shavasana rest pose for the end of yoga classes. So it'll be your choice. So let's set up for our sit. If you found it was kind of cushy to roll up your mat at the beginning of class, roll up your mat a few times and sit on that roll. Even that little bit of sitting up can help. Or if you have a cushion, a meditation cushion, or just a regular throw pillow, you can sit up on that too, your choice. Okay, or just stay flat on the mat, your choice. And take a second to really get comfortable here, right? Because we're going to be here for a few moments. So get comfortable, whatever that means for you tonight, in a seated upright position. And again, the hands are either resting face down, palms down on our knees or our legs, or my right hand can cup my left hand in my lap. And just softly close the eyes. And let's take a moment to sit tall. So pull the waist out of the hips, pull the rib cage out of the waist. And gaze is straight ahead. Eyes are soft. Shoulders are loose. And the belly is full and easy. In this meditation, we're not controlling the breath at all. Just let the breath breathe in its natural rhythm, let the body breathe itself. And our point of awareness for our meditation will be that belly rising on the inhale, falling on the exhale. So as you breathe in, be aware of the belly rising. Think rising. As you breathe out, be aware of the belly falling. And think falling. Rising on the inhale. Falling on the exhale. It's our point of awareness this evening. Rising in. Falling out. Three things will always conspire to pull you out of meditation. The sounds that you hear around you. The sensations in your body. And most of all, the thoughts going through your head. Know that this is normal. That for many of us, seated meditation practice is much more difficult than the moving asana practice. So when you notice your awareness being pulled away from the rising on the in-breath and the falling on the out-breath, acknowledge what sound, or the sensation, or the thought. Just let it go without judgment or blame. And come back to your belly. Rising as you inhale, falling as you exhale. Resting in this space for another moment or two. Rising in, falling out.
Knowing that whenever we bring our attention and awareness back to the breath in this way, creating the conditions for mindfulness. Ability to step back before we react. Rising in, falling out. Now, if you would like to stay in this meditation, in this sit, please stay and tune out my voice for the next minute or so. If you'd like to take a more traditional end to your yoga practice, I invite you with as little movement as possible to move your cushion or move your mat roll out of the way and bring yourself all the way down on your back on your mat. Let's really take a few moments to set up this rest pose. So go ahead and take a moment and bring your toes in until your big toes are pointing towards each other and just touching. And then go ahead and splay the ankles out. That's the distance we want our legs at. Now, take your index fingers and bring them under your body, just to the very tops of the glutes, where the glutes meet the back. And just very gently lift the hips up for a moment and use your index fingers to pull down the glutes so that your sacrum rests a little bit more squarely on you. Now roll the shoulders back underneath you, nestling the shoulder blades like they're a backpack. And hands can rest palms up at your side. A lot of times I like to take a rest pose with my hand on my belly and one hand on my heart, so feel free to take that variation as well. And then lastly, move the head gently back and forth till you find that one perfect spot your head wants to rest. And then give yourself permission to let your body totally relax into the mat. Relax the forehead and the space between the eyes. Relax the tongue and the jaw. Relax the shoulders. Relax the toes. Let every muscle release. Knowing that the earth is strong underneath you and supporting you. And whatever option you've chosen tonight, continue to stay there for just another moment or two. I'm going to get quiet. I'll let you know when it's time to leave your set. You decided to stay in your meditation, stay there for just a moment longer. You decided to lie back in your rest pose. With your next inhale, start to deepen the breath and bring movement back to the body. You wiggle the fingers and the toes. You circle the ankles and the wrists. Move the head from side to side. Then stretch the arms overhead, the toes away from each other. And keeping your eyes closed, roll over onto one side. And still keeping your eyes closed, use your hands to push yourself back up to a seated position. And everyone will meet me in their simple sits with their eyes closed. Bringing palms to touch in front of the heart, or both hands over the heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me this evening. It's been a real pleasure. Bow your head, drop your hands, and blink your eyes open, and come on back. Thanks, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have questions about yoga or questions about our library, please email CyFair Library at lonestar.edu, and we'll help you as best we can. Thanks, everyone. Take care, and I hope to see you soon.